Let's talk to Harteerath Singh, the Community Development Director for the Hemkund Foundation. You may have heard of him as he's been featured in Forbes 30 Under 30 for 2022, Hindustan Times 30 Under 30, Grazia India, and the World Economic Forum. Welcome here. It's such a pleasure to be talking to an individual who's making headlines all over the world.
Thank you so much. The honor is all mine.
So let's get you properly acquainted to everyone. I'm going to start by letting you tell us a little bit about yourself and introducing yourself to everyone who's listening today.
So I've been born and brought up in Delhi. I was never really into social work as a kid. And obviously all kids usually want to mint a lot of money. And that was my goal in life. But then obviously I was an atheist back there as well. And I used to kind of believe the goal in life is to mint a lot of money and be very selfish. But I mean, things kind of do change. Life does take a turn. And here I am, being the director at Hemkund Foundation, trying to make a difference in this world, not just in India, but around the globe.
So everyone who is listening, if you do follow Harteerath on social media, which I'm going to encourage all of you to do, you will see his dedication and his ambition towards social affairs. So tell us, Harteerath, is this a path you chose or did this path choose you?
I think this path did choose me. It all started when I was actually going to Hemkund Sahib in 2013. And it was like an annual vacation with my family. I was like, okay, let's just go. We'll probably chill a bit. And unfortunately or fortunately, we were actually stuck in the 2013 cloudburst, which led to several deaths. We lost kind of more than 1 lakh people there. And that is when my life changed completely for me. I was like, what is my legacy in life? What have I done until now? And I didn't have an answer back then. And I was like, why am I the one who's saved? There are so many people who've died around me, so many people I knew. And why am I kind of out here? So I had a lot of questions in my mind. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, if I've been saved, it's nobody else but Guru Nanak holding my hand. There must be a goal in life. There must be something planned for me. And I actually did go back to Uttarakhand 15 days after. And when I went there, people came up to me and they were like, have you been sent by the Prime Minister? Because, back then, Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. So every Sikh you see in Uttarakhand is obviously from the Prime Minister's office because you're actually the first civilian going there. So they were like, we've lost our house. We have faced a lot of damages. You've been sent by the PM. Help us. I was like, I don't have the resources. What do I do? So it was like I was in that situation with a lot of pressure. And that is how my journey started. I was there for the next 2 years. I live in Delhi, but then we kind of moved bases for the next 2 years. We rehabilitated about 6 villages, diverted rivers. We also built, a few buildings for the Gurdwara, for the Hemkund Sahib, trust there. That is how the name Hemkund Foundation came up. Now, you can connect the dots because my life changed there. And I was like, okay, I've been reborn again, okay, now everything I do will be because of the Hemkund name, which is why we actually named the organization Hemkund Foundation.
That's amazing. Now, the Hemkund Foundation is a non-profit organization based out of Gurugram in India. However, their impact has been across 21 states in India, impacting 43 lakh lives. Now, 43 lakh, that is a substantial number. When did this organization form and who are the founding members behind this organization?
So we were actually established in 2010, but we actually were active since 2013. So the founder is actually my dad. It's a family-run organization. When I stepped in, it's like a 2.0 revamped version now, with obviously the expertise of the older generation and the youth coming in together to do something great and super cool, as the Gen Zs kind of call it. So, it's a great combination. And yeah, it's been about 12 years now. This is the 12th year. We've not just worked in India, but around the globe. Philippines as well, during the volcano eruptions there. We sent oxygen to Myanmar. We have kind of worked at the Bangladesh borders. So yeah, we're trying to create an impact, trying to do seva wherever possible. You might just see Hemkund Foundation being in a lot more countries in the next 2 years. So that's a kind of a subtle hint I've given to the viewers.
Now, when this took inception in 2010, when it became a registered organization, what do you believe the inspiration at that point was to form this organization?
So it was all about trying to do our bit as a family. We've kind of seen a lot of people suffer in India, and you're like, what do we do? There weren't a lot of organizations back then. I mean, it wasn't even a trend. Now everybody wants to become a social worker or a philanthropist, but nobody even knew about the word philanthropy in India back then. But it was all about giving back to society. It was all about taking out 10% of your time and money for charitable causes. And that is how it all started. We started off really small, and we were funding the organization for about 8 years from our own pocket. After 8 years, we started getting support from the public.
Wow, and look at it today, right? And since inception, 2010, the foundation has worked on quite a few campaigns and projects. I wanted to talk about these in more depth, but first I want to talk about COVID. So during COVID, the Hemkund Foundation was a stranger to no one. We heard about it all over the media. You were working endlessly during the first and second wave of COVID, helping the individuals affected, helping the families affected, whether that was through oxygen tanks, meals, or other means of support. Now, Harteerath, through the media, what we all saw was the impacts and the devastation of these COVID waves in India. You were on the ground witnessing this, working with these individuals. What was the situation like during these times?
I haven't seen something as terrible as this. I mean, I've worked in so many disasters, floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, volcano eruptions as well. I've seen so many people being displaced, but nothing as bad as COVID, especially the second wave. Your own loved ones not recognizing you, not even trying to take you to the hospital because they fear they might contract COVID itself.
Mhm.
Uh, I mean, your own family isn't kind of willing to take you to the hospital. I don't think this has ever happened in any disaster, man-made or natural. And I mean, it was taking a toll on everybody's mental health. People kind of just see it on the media. Okay, we're helping people, but our mental health did took a toll as well. Nobody talks about mental health in India now.
Mhm.
I think it's high time people should. I remember my volunteers crying each night. It was like a routine, when the night shift changes. I mean, we had two shifts, and when your shift does change, you will cry. I mean, it was like a set rule for everybody because nobody's as strong. We talk about being in Chardikla all the time, but it will take a toll on you eventually. So we used to I also tell the team, try to focus on the lives you've saved versus the lives we've lost. And we used to make a tally every evening, on the whiteboard. 426 lives saved, 10 lives lost. So it's all about, looking at the positives. And that's how we were actually keeping ourselves sane.
I can imagine the post trauma being the one helping these people, witnessing everything. It's definitely takes a toll on your mental health.
But I mean, you also have to kind of look at the beauty alongside people from different ethnicities, different religions, different castes coming together to serve humanity. I mean, we kind of talk about how things are in the country right now, where there's not a lot of harmony because of the 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 differences in so many cultures. But
Yes.
I have never seen people coming together for such a cause. And for example, if you're an auto rickshaw driver, you will be doing seva. If
Mhm.
I mean, there was Miss India volunteering with us as well. There were auto rickshaw drivers volunteering with us as well. Photographers, designers, people from different professions coming together for one cause. We want to save as many lives as possible.
Yes, absolutely. It's beautiful witnessing that, seeing humanity come together and helping everyone supporting one another. And I think that was a lesson we all got from the pandemic is that at the end of the day, we're all equal. We're all going to deal with the same things throughout life.
Exactly. I mean, that one line was constantly hitting me back then was Manus ki jaat sab ek hai, pehchan wo. Recognize the entire human race is one. And we actually saw that in action in front of our own eyes.
Yeah, and now the foundation and yourself, Harteerath, you are working on some very, very powerful initiatives at the moment. Could you share more details about some of your ongoing projects?
So we have one project called the HF Mobile 100. During COVID, we realized, okay, there's not a lot of healthcare infrastructure out there. how do we kind of tackle it, especially in rural India? People will not come to the hospital because obviously the hospitals are very far away. In some regions, I myself have seen hospitals being as far as 40 kilometers away, 30 kilometers away. We can't expect the people to be there. We need to bring hospital to the people. And how do we do that? We ensure the hospital is actually on wheels. So, for example, we'll probably be in Birmingham, for example, on Monday. On Tuesday, we'll probably be in Leeds. On Wednesday, we'll probably be in London. So the hospital is constantly on wheels, moving and serving as many people as possible. Because if you have a hospital in one place, you're actually limited to serving a set number of people. But once the hospital is on wheels, you're actually serving double the numbers, triple the numbers. And we just don't have one, we have 21 in the country right now. And our goal is to have 100 in the next 5 years, which is why the name HF Mobile 100, Hemkund Foundation Mobile 100. 100 mobile medical units all around the country trying to do as much as seva possible. And for us, the inspiration is Guru Nanak. We don't want to work in metropolitan cities like Bombay, Delhi. We want to kind of work in far-fetched areas like Leh Ladakh or Uttarakhand, where people don't even think about going. I mean, the weather conditions there are extreme, -20. There's snow throughout the year. Working at the Nepal-India border, we want to work in such areas because Guru Nanak didn't set up langar outside his house. He traveled the world to make an impact, and that is the same ideology we're trying to follow.
Beautiful. And now I do have a question when it comes to supporting the organization. So where do you guys receive your funding from?
So it's the people's money. I mean, we kind of work as a courier delivery service. We take money and we kind of deliver it to the marginalized. So a lot of companies, a lot of corporates give us their CSR funding, which is the corporate social responsibility. And a lot of individuals kind of do donate. They like give their daswant to us. It's majorly the Punjabi community supporting us, the Sikh community supporting us, because we have the Seva Bhavna instilled within us since childhood. So that's how we get all our money. But it's majorly, we only accept money from India. We don't take foreign contributions as of now. So yeah, it's majorly Indians kind of donating.
Okay, great. So we'll get into more details later about how we can get more involved, how we can donate to the organization. Before that, I actually have a question for you. So there's often a perception or an assumption, you could say, about what we call the system in India. So a lot of our Westerners, we do hear about this, how the system is quite difficult to deal with, the political, sometimes we talk about corruption as well. So at times we talk to people who want to do philanthropy work or they've tried and then they forfeit because they get frustrated with the system in India and the lack of support they might be receiving. So would you say you have experienced any difficulties of this such?
Each day is a challenge for us, but it's all about how you tackle it. There are two ways to it. Either you crib about it, you cry about it, and you kind of quit. The second is, okay, you kind of realize, okay, this is how the system works. You need to find a way to kind of help and serve as many people as possible. So it's best you work with the system and not against it. You need to kind of realize, okay, this is how the country's been functioning, and this is the reality. So you take the system support. The government did support us a lot during the COVID times. They were the ones, offering cops to escort our trucks at at each state. They were the ones escorting our oxygen supplies. They were also telling us, okay, you can probably set up a camp here. So there are two options. Either you work against them, which isn't a great option because obviously, bring as many people possible together. So my advice would be to work with the government. They will help you if they kind of realize, okay, you're actually here trying to do good work. But the problem in India is people don't have the right intention. Even people opening a lot of new organizations. I see 100 organizations opening every day, but their intention isn't clear. If your intention is clear, if you aren't corrupt yourself, you'll meet like-minded people who are there to help you and help you grow. We met a lot of amazing IAS, IPS officers who did help us a lot. I mean, we were able to work well in Uttarakhand because the government was supporting us really well. So it's all about finding like-minded people.
I was just going to say, it's like when you say like-minded people always find each other, won't they?
Exactly.
So Harteerath, recently you were at an event not too long ago, taking place at the St. Regis in Mumbai. You were the jury at the Femina India Awards, presenting awards to some celebrities such as Harteerath Singh. Now I can imagine the emotions and the pride that you felt being a part of this. So tell me, how was this experience? What did you feel in that moment?
So I've met Ranveer Singh twice. Once it was at the Grazia Award, which coincidentally took place 5 days before the Femina event. And Ranveer met me for the second time. And, so we were kind of vibing, we were chilling after the awards. And while we were walking out, and we were doing our photographs as well. So we were being clicked. So he comes up to me and, he tells me something. It takes years for people to receive their first award and then get onto your jury. In Bollywood, people will take as long as 20 years to get onto the jury after their debut. He's like, look at the power of Seva. It has taken you 5 days, not even 5 years, but 5 days to get onto the jury and give out awards to people who you've seen on television or on the big screen all your life. I was actually realizing this is the greatness of Guru Nanak. If you kind of serve his people, his creation, you will be rewarded eventually. I mean, the experience was surreal. The amount of love and warmth we received from everybody at the award shows. The biggest of celebrities walked up to me and said, "Thank you. We haven't seen something as amazing as this in our lives." So, this is the greatness of Seva. This is the greatness of me or Hemkund Foundation. It's all about the turban being recognized throughout the country. People, will kind of say it's the Sikh community doing it. They won't say it's Harteerath Singh doing it or this is Hemkund Foundation serving people. They always say, okay, that's a Sardarji, that's a turban guy doing seva out there.
That's such a huge accomplishment, such a big, big pride moment for everyone, all of us. We always hear you, we always see your articles on the internet, and we smile. It makes us all so proud seeing that you're doing such amazing things for the community.
Thank you. As a kid, I had this goal in life. I want to see a Singh out there representing the community who's kind of practicing his faith uh, and also representing the community on a global scale. I think I've kind of started the journey, hopefully to more greater heights, but it's at least a start to see a Singh out there representing the seva aspect of the Sikh community out there.
Definitely. I'm sure you're inspiring so many people around the globe. As we all know, Harteerath Foundations are successful through the support of everyone. Everyone who's listening today, you are the reason that such NGOs, such charitable organizations can exist, they can be successful. So whether that's donating your time through volunteering, or it's creating the awareness, spreading the word, or donating money. So tell me, Harteerath, how can one get more involved with this organization?
So first is obviously volunteering. Whenever you come to India, we have projects all around the country. Take out some time, and trust me, when you do seva on ground, when you do volunteering on ground, you'll probably get the best sleep you've ever gotten in your day. I mean, when you go back home and sleep at night, you'll have that contentment which is missing usually in all of our lives. But trust me, when you do save on ground zero, you'll have the best sleep possible. And the second is obviously donating monetarily. I mean, you log on to our website, hemkundfoundation.com. And if you have access to an Indian bank account, you'll be able to do your bit.
Perfect. Thank you. Now, Harteerath, this has been an absolute pleasure. You have inspired so many people around the world. You might not realize it, but you have. My friends talk about you. I hear about you. My friend actually messaged me saying, why have you not interviewed this individual? And that is why I reached out to you, because I'm like, I definitely need to have your story shared, more people aware of the foundation, getting more involved. And I'm sure that people who are listening today, you've inspired someone to look around themselves, to look around their community and see how they can become more involved, because it is a collective responsibility to reach this equality, isn't it?
110%. You can't have one Harteerath Singh or one Hemkund Foundation trying to make a difference. We need hundreds of such organizations and individuals trying to do that.
Absolutely. And Harteerath, what message would you like to leave with everyone who's listening today?
Just start taking out 10 minutes every day and you'll find 100 people that need your help. It could be a friend, it could be your own parents, but seva starts at home. Giving back to the community starts at home. Do your bit and trust me, this will be the best thing you'll probably do for yourself. It's like you're healing your own self, you're healing your soul. We kind of, chill, party, we go out for dinners, but that's for the body. What do we do for a soul? We kind of let that go. So it's actually giving back to your own soul and doing your bit for the society. Start taking the first step, and trust me, there'll be a huge difference, not around you, but in the entire globe.
Thank you, Harteerath. Really, really appreciate it. Everyone who's listening, we will have the website, Harteerath's social medias, all linked, so you guys can definitely check out the websites. You can reach out if you're ever visiting India on how you can donate your time or your funds to this organization. And Harteerath, I would like to thank you for your endless efforts everything you're doing for everyone and for continuing to inspire all of us.
Thank you so much. It's all possible with everyone's support.